In the days when the judges ruled Israel, a famine struck the land. In Bethlehem, a man named Elimelech and his wife Naomi, along with their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, left their home in search of food and a better life. They traveled to the land of Moab, where they hoped to start anew. But life in Moab was not what they expected. Elimelech passed away, leaving Naomi a widow in a foreign land. Her sons married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth, and for a time, there was hope. Yet tragedy struck again. Both Mahlon and Chilion died, leaving Naomi and her daughters-in-law grieving and alone. The years of loss weighed heavily on Naomi. One day, news reached her that the Lord had provided food for his people in Bethlehem. With nothing left in Moab, Naomi decided to return home. She urged Orpah and Ruth to stay behind in their own land, to find new husbands and rebuild their lives. Tears filled their eyes as Naomi spoke. Orpah kissed Naomi goodbye, her heart breaking as she walked away. But Ruth clung to Naomi, her voice trembling as she said,
"Do not urge me to leave you or turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God."
Naomi looked at Ruth, her eyes filled with sorrow and gratitude. Seeing Ruth's resolve, she allowed her to come along. Together they journeyed back to Bethlehem. As they entered the town, murmurs spread among the women. "Is this Naomi?" they asked, recognizing her but seeing the grief that had changed her. Naomi replied, her voice heavy with pain,
"Do not call me Naomi. Call me Mara, because the Almighty has made my life very bitter."
Though her heart was burdened, God's plan was beginning to unfold. Ruth, determined to provide for Naomi, went to glean in the fields during the barley harvest. She worked tirelessly, gathering leftover grain to bring home. By chance, or perhaps by God's design, she found herself in the field of Boaz, a kind and respected man who was also a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz noticed Ruth among the workers. Her diligence and humility caught his attention. When he learned of her loyalty to Naomi, he showed her great kindness, ensuring she had food and protection. Ruth returned home with an abundance of grain, her arms full and her heart light. Naomi saw the provision and exclaimed,
"The Lord bless him. That man is our close relative. He is one of our kinsman redeemers."
As the harvest continued, Ruth stayed close to Boaz's workers, and Boaz continued to care for her. One night, at Naomi's urging, Ruth approached Boaz with humility, asking him to redeem her family. Boaz, moved by her courage, promised to resolve the matter. True to his word, Boaz acted with integrity. He addressed the nearest relative, who declined the responsibility, and Boaz joyfully took Ruth as his wife. Their union brought not only joy, but a legacy that would echo through history. Ruth and Boaz had a son named Obed. Naomi cradled the child in her arms. Her bitterness turned to joy as she saw God's blessing unfold. Obed would become the grandfather of King David, from whose lineage would come the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Ruth's loyalty and love, and Naomi's faith amid sorrow, remind us that even in the darkest moments, God is working for good.